I'm gonna
Yes.
just keep it 100 how I do, and
Yeah.
that's just how I do. Is I'm like this period regardless. I don't care who it is, whatever. And I just think we at that time like this is not a joke out here. And
Yeah.
I always say this, but black people gonna mess around or quote unquote African Americans gonna end up and be in a museum one day. And that's we don't value our own black.
Yeah.
We don't want to see our blackness continue in our children. People, it's a psychological thing. And you see it a lot of times with dark-skinned black men. You see it a lot of times with dark-skinned black women, too. But I will say that I think black men in general are some of the biggest perpetuators
Of
of
colorism.
colorism and of the interracial aspect. And it has a lot to do with the fact that black men have been so beat down, so criminalized for their complexion, for them being
I
black
believe
men.
that point.
And that sometimes what happens is psychologically we don't want to pass that on. We want to see our children have a quote unquote better life or whatever, and so then we see a better life as being good hair, light skin, this, that, and the other, and being not black.
Yeah.
Or looking black,
I feel
having
like we
the
have
right
to
to say
stop.
I'm not black though.
But we have to stop. We have to stop with the excuses, though. We have to stop.
Yeah.
We're thinking people. We need to be thinking people.
I
We need to
agree.
think first people. And all of these excuses and stuff for why this, that, and the other. Black women have been being down with black men. Black women have been poor and broke with black men and trying
I
to
agree
make
with you.
top struggle. Black
100%.
women have been doing that. Ain't no other race of woman got no damn monopoly on that. And because she was down with whomever, that means that it should be off the hook. No. Every other race understands this one concept. Race first. Everybody understands that but black people. We the first one who want to run out and get with anything that's less black. And I don't care if it's a Latino, I don't care if it's an Asian or none of that, because all of them people oppress us, and all of those people get honorary white supremacist cards when they see fit. Black people are always going to be on the bottom. They're getting stomped. Our population is smaller than the quote-unquote Latinos population in America. And we built this damn country.
You really believe that? What the white folks
Here
say?
we are, amalgamate. Here we are running around here trying to get, and I that's the new thing, and I'm going to pass the mic, but that's the new thing, is the brothers are pushing this Latino stuff, like you heard Trick Daddy and all these Latinos and these other, they getting sick and all this stuff.
And they are not doing the same thing.
Right, they pushing this
I'm
Latino
not hearing that.
bullshit.
Am I being?
And the first thing they want to say, oh, it's some of those is black. And let me say this last thing. Hold on, let me say this last thing. I'll pass the mic. Hold on, let me say this last thing.
Okay.
Listen, people need to understand the difference between so-called race, and I know that's a white supremacist construct, but we already 500 years into it. It's too late. So people need to understand the difference between race and nationality, right? Because people will say things like, oh, they're Puerto Rican, or oh, they're Dominican. Listen, Puerto Rico is a country. The Dominican Republic is a country, okay? So therefore, that there can be white Puerto Ricans, black Puerto Ricans, Asian Puerto Ricans, Mexican, whatever, not Mexican Puerto Ricans, but y'all understand what I'm saying. The point is, when people try to say, oh, they're Puerto Rican, typically they say that because that person is a white Puerto Rican. Or as
They're not thinking right. They're not thinking.
In all of these countries, the darkest people are the ones that are most oppressed in these countries.
Right, exactly. And that's because many of them are under the illusion of inclusion.